stream set up because we're starting to play Pangea for the first time, just as playing Pangea rather than playing developing. Thank you for everybody who's already joined the chat. If you can hear me, let me know. Or join the stream, rather. Just letting everybody know so that we can go ahead and get started. All right. Now, so what was it that I was going to do? Oh yeah, we're going to do progression gameplay. It's first real implementation of progression, like through and through, and this is a build that will be coming out like probably tomorrow. Almost certainly tomorrow, because I don't want to work on it anymore. I think I've got it to a good stable place. But I'm gonna let you guys decide if you want to. I'll give you a minute, whether or not. Hey, thanks for joining the Dino Gamer. I'm gonna give you guys a chance to decide where we go. Do you guys want to go to the smaller Gondwana map, or do you want to go to Pangea Major, which is the new map that we were having problems with at first? But I fixed it. I fixed both of them. So instead of taking 7 to 11 minutes to load, they now load in around 30 seconds. Unless it's like your first time loading it might take as long as a minute, but usually around 30 seconds. So you guys can decide which map we start out on. Just gonna give y'all a moment. Oops. Let's go back to that. Pangea Major or Gondwana? I guess I should get out of the way some of the text on the screen. Yep, Major is basically in a very, very stable state. So once I release it tomorrow, you guys won't have to wait 10 minutes to load into that map. Because if it was taking me 10 minutes on my computer, it was definitely just taking everybody else too long. So you can rest assured I've tested it, I figured out what the problem was, resolved it, pushed it, not going to go down that path again. So looks like people really want to see Pangea Major, so we're gonna go there. Once I'll probably push this build to Steam tomorrow, this exact build, assuming that tonight I don't have any major problems with it, because I've been playtesting for the last 2 days, finding issues and correcting them, putting out a new build as quickly as possible. So we are going to go, let me turn this down. It's not really important because nobody else has this build, so nobody else will be joining, but I think I'll keep the slots down to 2. And just so you know, you can name it. Nobody will be able to see this because I haven't pushed it yet, but just for the future, naming all your servers once you create them. So we're gonna get started. Let's go. I was so relieved once I figured out what was causing the maps to load so slowly. Hey, Grumpy. Nice to see you in chat. Everybody, really, welcome. Thank you for joining. Happy y'all are here. It's been a little while since I've done a stream, and definitely a while since I've played on a stream. This time we were actually full on playing the game. We're not developing, hopefully, in this stream. This is just me making sure everything works. Glad you're here. This is one of our devs is in the chat. All right, man. So usually usually I would be doing a development stream. This time I want to do something a little bit more laid back, especially since as of late I've been doing more game streams of different games. I wanted to do something else. So you guys can pick everything from this list except for Stochizosaurus, because I forgot to make it a progression dinosaur in this list. So I can select it now, but I don't want to select it now. If I choose D Long, then I'll upgrade from Stochizosaurus. But anything else, you guys have your pick on what I choose and what I survive as. And then we can see from there where we're supposed to go, how we're supposed to survive, if we can survive, or if I've made this game too tough for even me. So that's all on you. I'll give y'all a minute to decide. Really glad to see all y'all here. It's great to have y'all watching and supporting the game. But don't worry, you'll all be able to play this soon. So I'm not teasing something that's going to be delayed for weeks, hopefully. Because I found the major bugs, I solved them, resolved them, and had time to implement, obviously, these two new characters of Nanosaurus and Stochizosaurus. So I think there might be one more, but I'm probably forgetting it. No problem. Mashikasaurus, let's go. All right. Now, I don't remember where the food sources are on Madagascar, so this is actually going to be fun to see how long it takes me to die. So I've had to put my game resolution in 1080p because OBS apparently doesn't like me playing in 1440p for some reason. It's fine because the output of the stream was going to be 1080p or less anyway. So, it's just for me, I'm not used to seeing the game in 1080p. I'm usually playing it in 2K or up. Okay, there's the Majungasaurus right there, so we want to avoid him. As you can see, my temperature is about 111, and it's going down the further up a hill that I'll go. Once it gets closer to midday, you'll be able to see an example of this. Oh, I don't want to get too close to that thing. Good grief. But right now we're in the shade, so our temperature is a little lower. But if we were to go right out into the sun, see, our temperature went up 2 degrees. It's not accurate detection for shadows, but basically it's to let you know if your temperature gets above a certain threshold, that's a way of cooling off. Now, in a jungle like this, shade isn't going to make much of a difference in the overall temperature in the environment, but it will make a big difference in places that are deserts. So if you really want to cool off and you're in a desert, getting to the nearest shade would definitely benefit you. Okay, so I found the only water source on the island, on this tiny little island. But when I made it, I made the water, too deep. So the cliff sides are too steep for the Mashikasaurus. So there's really only one place right now that you can drink from. I will try and get this fixed for you guys before the patch goes live. It'll just be, iterating on the map some more. There's really one place in this waterfall area that you can drink, and that's right here where I was obviously a little less meticulous. So let me just, there you go. And now I'm able to fill up my water. That's obviously what goes first. And if you can see my progression points in the top right of the screen, I decided to be a little more lenient on carnivore players and make sure that they at least get 1 point a minute for their survival, because before it was just based on the number of kills. So if you weren't killing anything, you didn't get any points. But I decided, if you are able to live for a specific amount of time, you should be able to get enough points. Certainly not enough that you would just want to camp for 4 hours or whatever, or 5 hours, but something to make sure you're still moving up. So ignore this right here. Progression, this button is antiquated. I'm going to get rid of it. Everything will now be in the level up menu. So you click level up, and you can see your points available up here. You can see which creatures you will progress to. There will be about 3 options, usually. So some creatures have 2, some have 1. So from Mashikasaurus, you can progress to Baryonyx, which requires 400 points, or to Torvosaurus, which requires 500 points. Conversely, you could also take your points and use them to increase your max temperature threshold or your minimum temperature threshold. So that way you can go to different biomes where it's hotter or colder. If that's not cutting it for you, you can use it to invest into your power or into your speed. So if you want your character to be stronger, you can press this button. I'm not going to do that because it will make you slower too. If you want to be faster, good, you'll be faster, but you'll be smaller and weaker. So you could theoretically, who am I even saying theoretically? I've tried it. You can make a T-Rex that's very, very large and can like 2 or 3 shot Triceratops, but it's very, very slow and can almost never catch them. Or you can make a T-Rex that can outrun Pachycephalosaurus, but it could get killed by a Pachycephalosaurus because it's that weak. So we don't have enough points to invest in most things, really. But these 2 down here take up 2 points for every tick that you use. So if I were to invest in my temperature or in my power, I would take 2 points automatically, and then 2 for every other time I try to invest. So that's just to make sure, if you really wanted to exploit another environment, that you can use your points for that. But obviously it'll make it take longer for you to be able to progress to the next creature. So let me see if I can find something to kill. I'm starving. This is great. Boy, it'd be nice if I could find something that wasn't impossible to kill. I thought that there were some snakes on this island. Because I did reduce the number of AI in the entire total level, you're not going to be stumbling upon things every few feet, but I may have a method to help people find little critters like snakes and lizards without really drastically reducing the speed of the game. So, and feel free to ask any questions in the comments because I am watching them, obviously, as this game is, we're not in any fast-paced action right now. I can take the time to look at the chat and make sure I answer your questions. Okay, great. So, this crocodile, I've tested this before. Crocodiles will chase you over a very, very long distance. So, let's see. I've got to get out of here, but I'm also starving to death. Whoa. Yeah, I'm doing no damage to this guy. Wait, no, I can theoretically beat him. You guys think I can beat him? I turned on health bars and names again because I knew it was getting annoying to have to fight things and not knowing whether or not you were winning. So crocodiles turn around pretty fast, and they can snap really quickly. So I'm just trying to stay as much at the base of its tail as I can. It's the safest place to keep attacking this guy from. I'm probably going to get quite a few points. Is he giving up? I didn't tell you could give up. I'm the deadly 6-foot Mashikasaurus. Oh my gosh, I've never killed one of these things as a small carnivore before. Come on, you got it. You got this. Yeah! And look at that. I got 15 points total. So what was I at before? I was at 5, so I got 10 points just from that. Now, obviously, killing something of this magnitude isn't going to get us there quickly. But by the time you guys play it, I will have adjusted all the numbers to make sure that progression is challenging, but still, reasonable. because we don't have save progress yet. So I want people in one playthrough to be able to get to the dinosaur they want to get to. Just, I don't want to hold your hand the entire time. So I'll probably bump up the amount of points you get from a kill very soon, but just so you guys know. So just killing one crocodile did that for us. Now, what we could do, we could make ourselves a Mashikasaurus crocodile hunter. Wow, okay, I didn't mean that reference, but we could actually go hunt crocodiles and make ourselves, stronger and better suited for that. Now, we would become slower, but we would increase our chances of being able to kill these things and increase our ability to survive if we got hit. Actually, I don't think we could do that, because I think the highest you can go up is double your health. So if I got bit by these things, I would still have 180 health, and I think the crocodile does like 1,500 damage. So one bite and we're consistently toast. But you can see where that would be something we could do to help ourselves survive. So I'm just going to stock up on food as much as I can right now. Also, since Mashikasaurus is a piscivore, he gets less meat from eating red meat than he would from eating from fish. Yeah, we got to fix the body stretching. It is, it's whack for the crocodilians, but probably just because I haven't messed with their physics assets since January. Can you guys believe how quickly this year went by? It's almost December already. Alright, so we got full food now. We're going to go back to that water source. This game is technically multiplayer. You can start servers and have people join them. It's just there are no dedicated servers. So every time the host quits the game, that server will go away. But at least this time we have a reason to survive in this world rather than just running around and seeing all the cool sights. We're actually trying to get food, trying to get water, trying to get points so that we can get to the next thing. Probably should have left the cheat code in to give myself more points, but I wanted to make this gameplay authentic. If I run into another crocodile, which is likely because I think there's like 3 or 4 of them on this entire island, I might just invest some of my points into strength. Just a little bit. Be nice if I could find that water source. Don't tell me I'm going to die of thirst in a storm. I did not do all of this by myself. You see one of them in the chat. Raiden is lead character artist. He does a lot of the dinosaurs and the skins, and then we have Lise do all of the other dinosaurs and the skins, and we're going to have him do a lot more before this game is done developing. We have local screamer Mimo doing the sounds, and then we have well, he's our associate sound artist, so he does them along with me. Then we have Sun Dragoness, who does concept art. How long did it take? How long have we been developing this game for? Let me think. I think I first came up to Raiden about a general idea of us doing a new dinosaur game together in 2017. This idea really started to take, it's really started to gain some speed later in 2018 of a large dinosaur survival simulator with a huge roster. We came up with the name maybe a year ago now. Yeah, but the idea has kind of been in my head since I was like 10, and I really never had the skill to develop it until about the last few years, develop it as the lead developer. Let's see. Where was that waterfall? I do not want to die of thirst in the middle of rain. I should probably rest and get some stamina back. Yep, we are definitely still looking for other people to help us with the development of the game. Still map making, map design, more programming, certainly network coding. People who can kind of take over a couple of the roles while we recharge our batteries. Looks like our long-tooth buddy won't make it if I don't find some water soon. Maybe I should implement a scent system. Anybody else think that that's a good idea? Something to help you find water and food? It would be very simplistic. It wouldn't be too performance heavy. It would probably be like an outline around stuff. Or a giant arrow pointing in that direction. Yeah, so this is actually a bug that I just made in the last hour and didn't realize I was making. I was trying to increase the amount of water and food that you get every time you drink or eat something. And because water regen and water degen are just the same value, but with a plus or a minus, I ended up increasing the amount of food and water that you lose every tick, every time it ticks. So that was just a simple bug. I'll probably just increase the time and keep the amount. So it might take 2 minutes to lose 5 rather than 30 seconds. Is that it? Because I think it is. You know, this island is really tiny. This island is actually a very, very small part of Pangea. Like, if I were to go out to the actual ocean, you would see this is not a very big island, but I got lost twice already. How many creatures? I think we have a playable roster in the Discord, but I forgot to update it with the last 3. So probably somewhere between 40 and 45, I would say. Okay, so this is our water source. Actually, I can swim, so I don't need to go around. You know, the steam actually looks like smoke when it gets dark, so I need to watch that. Alright, so I did not die of thirst, but I will probably die of hunger very shortly. So rather than waiting till I get into the 20s to start looking, I'm going to start looking now. And I'm definitely going to have to put a critter spawn system in. That way we don't have a huge amount of AI in the level when you load up, but once you get into a certain region, you know, lizards and snakes and frogs will spawn. You should always be able to find frogs near ponds. So I need to make that a thing. And then once you go away, they despawn. That way you save performance as much as possible. Yeah, but I think 45 is the total number of playable creatures. When non-playable creatures are included, it's probably 50. We got crocodilians, we've got critters. We don't have any small mammals yet that we wanted to add, but we will get there. And we need pterosaurs. Our fish are kind of stupid, so they kind of swim above the water. And that's a bug that I'm going to have to spend some time fixing. Because obviously creatures like Machikosaurus, Spinosaurus, Suchomimus, Baryonyx are kind of dependent on eating fish. They get more food from it than they get from bits of meat. Okay, now I'm hoping that there is something out here. I see it. I see a name tag. Please don't be a crocodile. Please be something easy to kill. better build up my stamina so I don't run out. Let me look for a landmark. Hey, there's something over there too. That'll help me get some points and keep my hunger full. Yeah, we got a lot of dinosaurs, but we got a lot more on the way, which is, it's gonna be rough. But I enjoy it. But for right now, I just told the team, you know, let's leave the roster where it is. I mean, we might fill in a couple of dinosaurs, just, you know, so the roster makes a little bit more progression sense. But right now, we got a good selection to work from. We might add a smaller sauropod. These guys are semi-aggressive. Like, they will sometimes attack and sometimes they won't. But doesn't matter. I'm a cannibal and you're food. So. As you can see, the Mashikasaurus eating animation is no longer weird looking. Yeah, those mountains in the back, that's part of Pangea Major. You won't have to grow. Now, I decided that growing from baby to adult while also having a progression system would be too complicated. People would never make it past hatchling stage. So we're just doing adult dinosaurs progressing to adult dinosaurs. That's it. But yeah, those mountains in the back, I'm trying to figure out what formation they belong to. Can't tell just by looking, but I would assume that is Cloverly. No, that's Dinosaur Provincial Park. We do have a little bit of sexual dimorphism for the allosaurs, but the only way to get it to really show is to either invest into power or into speed. So we take away the quills on the back of the Epanterius's head if it invests in speed, and it makes it smaller, and then we make the crest point back so it looks a little bit more like a female Allosaurus, and then we make the quills larger, the crest point forward and more broad, so that way it looks like a male when you invest in power. So obviously we don't know which ones would be the more powerful of the two, but I just took a swing at it. I think I'll make Saurophaganax females bigger than males. Stop and take a look at where we are. We are nowhere near where we need to be if we want to get to baryonyx. Not even a tenth of the way there. So obviously, yeah, before this patch would go out tomorrow, I would bump up the amount of points that you get. Yes, it is sort of like a skill tree. So right now, obviously, we only have the 2 skills you can invest in. But I'm going to put an attack stamina skill right there, and I'm also going to have like an option. And you would only be able to pick one, but you might be able to dig. You might be able to climb, knock over trees, some skill right here that your dinosaur is capable of wielding. And you'll just have to unlock that skill after a certain amount of points. But obviously we haven't figured all of those details out yet, so it is possible to knock over trees as any single dinosaur in the game because it's still in testing, but it's only a certain type of tree that works. And that tree will respawn after like, I think 5 minutes, maybe 10. Still have to get back up there because it's the only place I can drink from. If I fall in there, I'm not getting out, so I have to be careful. If I fall in there, I might as well just respawn as something else. That is interesting. I'm not digging Rex. That would be fun. And Raiden knows I've been looking into this new system that allows us to make caves. And I actually tested it today with burrows. It was a burrow that was barely small enough for a human to fit through, but it led to this giant complex cave. I haven't implemented it into Pangea right now, but it doesn't look like it would cause any problems for implementing into Pangea. So after this build goes out, I'm gonna test that. But the different genders having different skills available. That's interesting. I'm just trying to figure out how that might work. Like, what would you get from being a female Tyrannosaurus that you wouldn't get from being a male? Maybe if you have babies, you can have a rage boost or something. Something that will help you protect them, make you faster or stronger, or both. So you have a skill that you can unlock to make yourself a better mom. And our nighttime lighting is definitely better than it was before, because it was either too dark before or it was this bright white light that looked kind of like a soft daytime. Now we have true moonlight, and we're really nocturnal now. I also think I should do a thing, and tell me if you guys, yeah, it definitely could be abused. But that's a mama. A mama will kill you for her babies. I think I should put a thing down where when you're resting, like in the bottom right of the screen, it's flashing resting, that you consume less. That's actually not a bad idea. Better senses and better nest. That's actually pretty good. Like, definitely better. It's hard to do hearing with this, but definitely you could do better sense of smell, or we could do a depth of field thing where certain dinosaurs can see better than others, and then females can see better than males, maybe. That way we could affect our senses. But I want to do a thing where the dinosaurs consume less food and water when they're resting. That way, you can just sort of take a load off for a while, not always have to be on the run. I'm going to refill my water in a bit and then go back to the search for food. Yeah, that is the plan once we actually get that stuff implemented, because a lot of the stuff we're doing so far, there's a bunch of scalers involved. Like even the whole thing of piscivores getting less food from fish, less food from red meat than they do from fish, is just a scale. And most dinosaurs, it doesn't apply to them, but with them, it does. So they end up getting more from one type of food source than another. So we could have a male-female scale system or a sexual dimorphism scale system where certain female species are stronger and certain male species are stronger. And that's how those packs would be oriented. Trying to think, where am I going to get these points? Because the only thing I found on the island so far is one lone Majungasaur and a very angry crocodile. Oh, and that one little Mashikasaurus, but he barely gave me any points. Maybe I could do a point thing where you invest points and you get more points per point. How's that sound? It's like increasing your item drop rate in a Warriors game. Yeah, that would actually be pretty good. And see, now it's not as difficult as it was before because we're doing it all through a unified menu system. So we do want to make sure that every single stat has a trade-off. If you invest in power, you will be slower. If you invest in speed, you will be weaker. So if you got like suggestions on gender-based stats to make somebody stronger or weaker on one thing, try to provide a suggestion also for the trade-off that comes with that. There's that Majungasaurus right there. I think I made all the Majungasaur AI males. That way when you're playing as one, you're always playing as the female so far. And there's no baby Majungasaurs on this version of the island, but there are in the Gondwana version of the island, and they will follow you. So that's kind of your mission there. It would be cool for me to try and mess with the Majungasaur, but I know full well that thing would take me apart. Wait a minute. Brighter color equals lower stealth. Yes. It can also increase your intimidation factor, which we haven't worked on yet. But intimidation factor will only work really against AI. Or at least so far will only work against AI. It's just, if I threaten, the AI has a chance of running away. Yeah. So that's but you have a greater chance of being noticed too. Has it been 10 minutes since I killed that one Mashikasaurus? Because if it has, then he will respawn. I don't see anything. Oh, he just respawned! Did you see the pop, the flash on the screen? He just respawned when I looked over there. I'm so glad I put that indicator up. So if you are within eyeshot of the thing, you can see the little flash pop up when they respawn. Isn't that something? I walked back to this area literally 10 minutes after I started eating from him, and he respawned right then. That's crazy. But this is just to make sure that dinosaurs do not starve to death based on limited resources. So every dinosaur, every creature respawns after about 10 minutes. So you won't have to worry about depleting the entire island's resources. That was so cool. I literally walked back into the area in time to see his little flash. Every dinosaur has that flash when they respawn. Every creature. You know, I think if we played for 4 hours, we could actually make it. Yep, that's bad collision right there. I'm trying to remember which one is he using? Given how much his body is stretched out, he's probably using Coelophysis collision. And since Coelophysis is bigger, it's just stretching his entire body to try and fit. He should be using, Mashikasaurus because my tail isn't going crazy. It's the right size. Yeah, so he should be using the right stuff. And right now we only have corpse picking up. Oh, thanks. I worked a long time on that animation. That's why you'll see it repeated on different things. I try to make it feel a little bit unique each time. Like the dinosaur's character is sticking through. But, what was I saying about this guy? I forget. It was something about his collision, I think. Yeah, I forget what I was saying. Somebody's going to have to remind me, or I won't remember it at all. I think it is... Did I turn off collision for the ocean? Is it possible for me to swim to a different formation? I'm going to go test real quick and see if it's possible for me to swim in the ocean, or did I turn off ocean collision? I don't want to go down there because I may not be able to get back up. I'll have to find another stretch of beach. So, let's just try to remember that the waterfall is in that general direction. Somewhere in this little... I don't even know. There's no landmarks here. I'm gonna forget. I'm gonna die of thirst. Oh, picking things up. Thank you. We have it where you can pick up smaller creatures, but you can't set them back down. You can only eat them from there. But I do want to finally figure out a way to get corpse dragging. I think I just figured it out. I hate my brain. I mean, I love it, but I hate that. I think I just figured out corpse drag. Oh, it's disgusting. It's disgusting how simple that solution is. Ugh. I'm mad at myself. All right. So possible corpse dragging 2021. Gotcha. Somebody make a mental note for me. Ugh. I'm mad. I'm mad now. Just yuck. Any stretch of beach, please. Because I don't want to just jump off into the water and then die. You know, that's a really good idea. It actually works this almost similar way to the way the carrying mechanic works. I hate how simple some stuff can be. Because you rack your brains for months, and then when you're not really trying, you think of a solution. Ugh. Yeah, all of these shorelines are too steep. It's not like this on the other Madagascar, the other one on Gondwana. I'm going to have to keep an eye on my water. This tiny little island is huge. You know, when I made it, I was like, I don't know if this is going to be enough to support an entire ecosystem. Okay. 2 Majungasaurs, 5 crocodiles, and then a bunch of little Mashikasaurs scattered everywhere. Once we get the sauropods we wanted, which we have one. We have Isanosaurus. It's the one dinosaur that hasn't been implemented into the game yet. And Raiden spent so much time on it, and then I was like, I just forgot. Okay, Isanosaurus is the dinosaur we're going to put here. We're going to give it a different skin and then call it something else. And then we'll have a playable Isanosaurus somewhere in that region back there. But then we'll have a reskin and call it something else on this island. I'm calling it right now. Because we don't have a Repeatosaurus. So that's the only sauropod I can think of that should go on the island. Maybe Raiden can tell me. Is Repeatosaurus more like a Diplodocid in shape, or is it more like an Andysaur in shape? I forget. All this new information about Titanosaurs every year. I forget what they're supposed to look like. They look like Diplodocids on Brachiosaur bodies. Alright, so I made every freaking shoreline very, very steep. Idiot. Who's the idiot Adrian who designed this map? Alright. Looks like I'm not getting off, folks. Get off the island. Kind of in the middle of the two. Okay. Darn. I'll figure something out. You know, I finagle with these dinosaur models and make something. Some dinosaurs have footprints, so that you can also thank Raiden for that, because he took the time to make footprints for each type of dinosaur. So they just all haven't been implemented because it's kind of tedious, especially when it's a quadruped. But Coelophysis has them, Epanterius has them, Jimatsini has them, Acrocanthosaurus, and I think maybe Utahraptor. There's a couple of herbivores that have them, but I don't play herbivores because herbivores suck. Nah, they don't suck. It's just I like putting my neck on the line every time I want to eat something. You can check my play history with the Isle. Almost always an Allosaurus or an Albertosaurus. I want to get injured in a fight. Because like a Saiyan, it makes me stronger. Maybe if I increase the slope climbing limit for maybe if I increase the slope climbing limit for Mashikasaurus, it would make it easier to get off this island. Because I definitely can make the swim as long as I can rest assured that the water has collision on it. But where would I go? All the formations are surrounding this island. Morrison Formation, Kim Formation, and what is that called? Huincule? And then Candelaros, so Giganotosaurus stuff. I ain't gonna thrive there. The smallest creature there is a monitor lizard, a poisonous monitor lizard. So Yeah, we should have, and I think the final roster has slightly more herbivores and carnivores, but current roster, I forget what the ratio is. Because you're still going to see more herbivores among the AI than carnivores. So even if there's like more carnivore species, there's less instances of carnivores in the entire map. Look at me. I'm actually surviving. Now, if I could just, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna make a break from this island, because biggest, most threatening thing on this island is Majungasaurus. Not very fast, kind of strong, but the biggest threats outside of this island are allosaurs or carcharodontosaurs, and then the occasional spinosaur. And I think all of them are a little bit faster than Majungasaurus. So I think should be fall damage in the future. I think I'll just stay here in my cozy little podunk town. Make sure I don't fall into something that I can't get out of. Advice for life. Yeah, if I tried to break out of here, there's nothing tiny in Kim Kim Desert, and it's really, really hot. It's really, really hot during the day, like 140 degrees, and then it's really, really cold at night, like 50 degrees. So, well, if you pick up a T-Rex because it's T-Rex, that's a long progression time, because you're starting from D long. Even when we get to the point where you get to save your progress of what you've unlocked, you won't be able to max out everything. T-Rexes in this game are the slowest carnivore in the game. So that's something that really just bothers me about the Isle, is that T-Rex is only slightly slower than Allosaurus. So I can't even troll T-Rexes like I want, because I'm always afraid that their janky hitbox is going to kill me. T-Rex is the slowest dinosaur in this game, and I mean it. You're not going to just catch an Epanterius. You're not going to just catch a Saurophaganax. They're faster. So I think T-Rex's speed is 14.6 miles an hour, and Saurophaganax is like 18. So you're not going to just catch anything. You're going to have to be strategic and sneak up on things and deal a devastating bite. Everything that T-Rex hunts with its base stats is slower than it. Anatosaurus is slower, Triceratops is slower, and Ankylosaurus is slower, but they deal a lot of damage. Right now, Anatosaurus will run from you unless you spend way too much time close to it, and then it'll switch, and it takes like 2 or 3 stomps that thing can kill you. Triceratops obviously is Triceratops, so don't mess with it. Ha! I have always believed in Nerf Rex. I'm a never buff Rex, so I just don't see the benefit to having the strongest carnivore in the game be fast and have good stamina and great attack speed. No, like you got to be vulnerable to something, or it's not a game. If I wanted to see the most OP dinosaur in history be OP, I would just go back 66 million years. Look at that sunrise. It's almost as if an artist made this game. You can say it. I won't tell. Yeah, I'm definitely bumping the amount of points you get. Well, see, the low stam kind of... the reason that our T-Rex doesn't have really, really bad stamina is because while we were still designing the new T-Rex, Raiden sent me this article about T-Rexes basically being able to out-stamina their prey by just kind of speed walking to death. Like, they could just keep walking for long, long distances. So I didn't want T-Rexes to have bad stamina, but we got a chunky T-Rex. Like, we got the biggest one we could find, Scotty. It's 9.75 tons. So there's no way in this world that thing should be moving fast. Yeah, it really is. It's overrated. Like, my favorite Tyrannosaur to play as right now is Gorgosaurus. It was close between it and Tarbosaurus. Let me switch back. Tarbosaurus. That's what I forgot. Before I did the newest build of the game, I forgot to implement Tarbosaurus sounds. I think every other dinosaur in the game now has sounds except Tarbosaurus. So, let me make a note of that real quick, because that's important. Can you please give me Notepad? Why all this problem just to bring up Notepad? Alright. Give Tarbo roar. There we go. Back to the game. Alia, yes. Once we get Alia Ramus in, please, I'm not. That and Albertosaurus are going to be my Tyranno mains. I can't zoom out. Did I do something? I think I did. I think I just didn't click back in. There we go. Yeah, it has been a long while since we did a stream. Certainly not just a gameplay focused stream. But I need to do more of this, because there's a lot of stuff in the game that I just didn't show people, and it occurred to me they might not know that there's some cool stuff in the game or cool stuff right about to come out. So, and also don't worry, when this build comes out, it will not be in the test branch. It will be in the main branch of the game. So you will be able to revert back to that branch and use that instead. But yeah, I'm doing a lot more of the stream stuff, and I'm getting a lot more comfortable doing just gameplay instead of just work. Tomorrow, some of y'all know I'm a big Zelda fan. Tomorrow, the new Hyrule Warriors comes out, and I've had to kind of shut down YouTube to avoid spoilers and stuff. So I'm going to stay up pretty late tonight because GameStop doesn't open till 12 tomorrow. So I'm going to have to sleep till noon just so I can avoid gouging out my own eyes or whatever. And then I'm going to stream that. But obviously, I felt like Pangea, a lot of work had been done on this, so I felt it's time for a stream on Pangea. So, natural disasters. Okay, so I don't know if I've talked about natural disasters since when was it? When did I first start doing these streams? Was it in January of this year? I think it was. So natural disasters in this game will vary based on your latitude on the map. And this is actually something I can get to work now because of our new biome system. So if you're in, let's see, a northern formation, Horseshoe Canyon, you don't have to worry about droughts. Let's just say that. You don't have to worry about it becoming so hot and so blistering and all the ponds dry up. But you do have to worry about blizzards. So you might have to migrate, which would be a real good time to invest. In a place like this, it's too humid and wet and it rains too often for forest fires to be a real threat. So this place might be subject to floods. What if it just started raining a little bit harder than this, and now all of a sudden floodwaters sweep in from this pond and carry me away and I drown? There you go. Morrison Formation obviously would be subject to horrible droughts. Like real dry seasons and real wet seasons. And maybe dry season could last too long one year. So we haven't implemented a year system yet. We have a time of day system that affects the weather, but we're going to need a year system that also affects the weather too. So it obviously gets hotter and hotter and hotter as the day approaches noon, and then it gets colder and colder and colder as it approaches midnight. I don't think I filled up my water. I think I just got some. Yeah, if I could make it off this island in its current state, I probably would just to see it happen, but I don't think I can. Yes, some creatures, they kind of just live in peaceful areas. They're really not. Their world isn't as hazardous. Like, I can't think of something that Giganotosaurus is really just going to have to face, just have to put up with. You know, maybe if you have an idea, good, but maybe Giganotosaurus' hazard is the fact that it's a giant predator who has to hunt giant prey to stay alive. Because I think I'm going to make it where the small creatures in the biome are going to try and stick with the giant creatures. So, obviously, a Margosaurus didn't live with Giganotosaurus, so that's not what I'm saying. But we have a Margosaurus in that formation just because it's South America and it's Cretaceous, mid-Cretaceous. So maybe the Margosaurs stick with the Argentinosaurs or the Andysaurs just to avoid getting killed. Yeah, so I've actually attempted real migration as just one dinosaur, as an Epanterius. I was like, it's really hot in the Morrison Formation. Let's see if I can try and make it in the in Hell Creek Formation. So it's a long run just to get to the cave that you have to walk a long way through just to get to Hell Creek. As soon as you step out of that cave, even if it's like midday, the temperature is so cold, you're almost to the point of dying of the cold, of the exposure, as the Epanterius. So, obviously, once the temperature starts to drop from there, you realize you can't make it in Hell Creek. So, if you really wanted to, you would have to rack up a bunch of points in the Morrison Formation, then go to your level up, and take down your temperature resistance. I think you can go down 20, 30 points from where you start. So whatever your starting minimum is, you can go 30 points down from that, or your starting maximum, you can go 30 points up from that. But obviously that takes about 60 points just to do. Yeah, some creatures do match up better than others. Like, obviously, if you've got a mission to kill stegosaurs, you'd rather be Epanterius than Gymnadzini, because Gymnadzini can kill a Hesperosaurus, yeah, but killing a Stegosaurus is one of those is not easy to do. So you'd rather be the most optimized creature in the matchup. Okay, so we're doing good. I haven't seen a crocodile. Remember, if I fall in there, I gotta restart something. And this is one of the first times in a long time that I've actually played through more than a full day cycle. Because usually I just restart. What is this? Yes. that was the idea, because a lot of times people would say, "Oh, how are you going to balance with this many dinosaurs?" And I told them, "Well, the game self balances." And some people are like, "That's not an answer." Like, yes, it is. Like, you're just not going to take the chance of losing whatever progress you have because you saw a Pachycephalosaurus over there. So, hey, we reached 100 messages. Thanks, guys, for keeping us active. Yeah, so basically, you can see this was the whole idea behind it. I was like, if I'm playing as a Plateosaur, and there are Saurophaganax in the next formation or not that far away, what stops them from coming over to the I forget what Plateosaurus formation is called, but one of the small Triassic formations? What stops them from coming over there and taking advantage of you? Well, they're not built for the desert. That's one way. Let's say that the environment isn't that hot, but it is still a desert. What stops them from going there? Oh, well, sand. They can't run on sand as easily. So the way we decided to balance this is just to make sure every dinosaur is balanced in their formation. If you decide to go to the next formation because you think that you can make short work of whatever its inhabitants are, well, I hope you're right, because the environment will destroy you a lot faster than the top predator of that formation will. And they will do that too, because I tried to take advantage of Hell Creek as a Gymnadsony and I got killed by juvenile T-Rexes. So you're not going to have an easy time. The easiest time that you'll have is playing as a creature you're supposed to play as. Okay, so you see how it's getting kind of hot? And I'm going to go down here, so the temperature is going to rise, and now it's too hot. My temperature gauge is fully red, and I don't like it. And in a second, I'm going to actually start to take damage from it. And I get a little pop-up that says, "You're too hot. You should find some shade or go for a swim." So, since I have quite a few points, I'm going to invest in making my max temperature 2 degrees hotter. Now, it's 121, and my max temperature is 122. So, at the hottest point of the day, in the warmest part of the map, which is this part right here, now I will no longer have to worry about going into the shade whenever it gets too hot, because I'm set. Now, also, the rain brought down the temperature 5 degrees, so I'm good on that front. Yes, I will get cold faster. Good thing about this island, the core temperature doesn't really change that much like it does in the desert. So in the desert, you literally go from like 50 degrees to 140, because well, depending on the desert you're in. The one with Spinosaurus in it, Kim Kim, is the most extreme biome in the game. So you will burn to death as an Oranosaurus or a Carcharodontosaurus. It just is too hot in the middle of the day. So even though that is your formation, it's the one that you're used to, it's you need to go find shade in the middle of the day until you get enough points to resist it. But don't invest too much into your heat resistance, because your cold resistance is right there at that threshold. So it's probably best as one of those creatures to go into the shade midday, so that way you're not freezing to death at night, because when you start freezing at night, going into the shade isn't going to help you. There's nothing you can really do. It's just too cold. In the daytime, you can at least go into the shade. On this island, shade only reduces your temperature by 2 degrees. But in that desert, it reduces it by 20 degrees. So you really do want to be in the shade then. What do I think of Prehistoric Kingdom? I know some people don't know this, but I was on that team like 6 years ago. Very briefly. I was like 17 years old. So that was I didn't know what the game was supposed to be back then because it went from being a Jurassic Park project, fan project, to what it is. It started evolving what it is now. But for the last several years, I never paid any attention to Prehistoric Kingdom. But their artwork this past year has just been so stunning that I've been like, we have to crank it up a notch because I don't want to look at my own work and be like, is this good enough? So I really didn't make sure we took the time to go over our models and make sure that they were up to my standards, because their Prehistoric Kingdom raised the bar for Edmontosaurus this year, because that was like the most stunning Edmontosaurus I had ever seen. And I was glad when me and Raiden both had the idea, let's redo the Anatosaurus because we want it to be top tier, and it is now. I'm actually very, very proud of where Anatosaurus turned out. You know what? Let me be efficient. I'm gonna take a chunk of meat with me. And he already despawned, so we got it at the right time. Yes, so we do have a volcano south of the Morrison Formation, and once I spend some time on that region, we will have hot springs. There's just a question right now as to whether or not I'm going to end up just scrapping this entire map and redoing it with our new cave system. I don't know yet. It's going to be fun. Single player is what basically what I'm doing now. And it is the mode we're focusing on the most. Multiplayer is there, but it's not really there. You can start a server and people can join, but this game hasn't really been set up that well for with multiplayer in mind. We have a very simple chat system, which gets mixed up really, really quickly. And I don't even think you can see the icons above somebody else's head yet. So yeah, our game is multiplayer. We just haven't invested as much, and it's because I've had some problems trying to get dedicated servers up. If I could have got the dedicated server, I have people who can help me with the dedicated server right now if I can get it up. But it's the one thing that I've done with this game, trying to compile it from source, that is consistently crashed, and it won't tell me what it is. So rather than slow down the development time and just focus on that, I decided to focus more on some single player stuff. So that way, we're at least making some progress. Why the heck are there any bushes on this island? There's no playable herbivores on this island. We don't need bushes like this. I'm pretty sure this is the edible bush. So there's no herbivores who need this. That's just me talking as far as design. Yeah, it's annoying because it's either the looming prospect of having to start the entire project over in another project file, or having to do the compile from source in a different project and then migrate everything over. So obviously neither of those things sound very good, because you're either recreating the entire game. Anybody else getting recode vibes? No. Or you're migrating the entire project over and you're going to have 500,000 errors when you do that. I've done it twice already and it sucked both times I had to do it. First time I had to do it just to yeah, that is true. It does. All these plants are supposed to move when you run through them, but one by one they all just stop working. So I'm gonna have to figure out why, because that used to be a thing. But these plants used to move when you went through them, so you could actually see something coming towards you. What was I saying about multiplayer? Yeah, I did have to migrate the entire project over when I did the first demo back in May. and that threw a lot of errors because it just was not gonna. It was not gonna make the project. It just wouldn't do it. So what I think I'm going to have to do is compile the project from source. Compile a new project from source. Make sure all of its dedicated server stuff works. Then migrate all of Pangea stuff for. Yeah, it will because it really does depend on where you're going because even a formation that is similar to your own isn't easy to get to. Dinosaur Provincial Park and Horseshoe Canyon, I think temperature-wise are about the same, but Dinosaur Provincial Park is really, really high up, and Horseshoe Canyon is really, really low down. So you're going to have to go down a steep mountain just to get there. And if you're like a Daspletosaurus and you want to take advantage of Horseshoe Canyon, you think Albertosaurus are just going to let you? You know, I'm having a debate as to who's the third most powerful Tyrannosaur in the game. Is it Daspletosaurus or is it Albertosaurus? Because Daspletosaurus' bite is stronger, but Albertosaurus is no joke. Like a full-grown Albertosaurus is slightly longer than the Daspletosaurus in this game. I think Daspletosaurus is 34 feet. The Albertosaurus is 35. While the Daspletosaurus is a little bit heavier and has a wider jaw, Albertosaurus has the faster attack speed, and it is the strongest Albertosaurine in the game. It is the top tier Albertosaurine. So you're not just going to say, "Oh, I'm a Daspletosaurus," so I'm just going to take over that formation over the Alberto's dead body. How are we going to deal with sport killing? So we haven't had to deal with it yet, just because of our issues with multiplayer. We haven't had to, but I imagine that a lot of it can rectify itself by you sticking in your formation in the same way. So you're a Ceratosaurus. You're getting if you're a Ceratosaurus and you're getting attacked by an Allosaur, you should be able to outrun it unless it's a Gematsini. If it's a Gematsini, you should be able to fight back. From there, there's precious little you can do besides making official rules for no spawn killing. I don't really like that because somebody could literally spawn in, but you were starving and you can't. You got to eat them. So that's one of those things where I get what the issue is. I don't want to see people abuse the system either. But that's just one of those things I'm going to have to work it out more and more and more as we get to multiplayer. Yeah, every formation has its apex. Like, all the formations in this game were carefully thought out, both in their placement and which dinosaurs from that formation are going to be there. So we might not have complete formations now, but it was almost like every single dinosaur we picked, we had all these other dinosaurs from that formation that just made sense to go into the game. So let's see a good example. We're gonna have something like a Zeuxi Tyrannus. It's gonna be AI, but it fits in with the Stochizosaurus and the Eo Tyrannus, which was those are the playable ones. And when I was like, well, we're going to have that, it's like, oh, well, we can have Zuni Ceratops, and we can have Nothronychus, and then we have this whole formation of mid-tier, or actually small to mid-tier dinosaurs. Yeah, it is like that. Well, the game is really released, and we already had our drama about this time last year of people saying we were Mesozoica stuff. Like, really? I wish the guys in Mesozoica could have coded like this. We would have probably made some money from Mesozoica. Probably before everything went down the tube. Probably way before I got kicked out. Um, but I always try to put some distance between myself and Mesozoica because myself and Dijon were way long gone before that thing went down the tube. So you can't blame that on us. We tried our best. But yeah, I'm trying to be pretty diligent about what goes into the game. I don't want to just throw in a dinosaur because it's cool. That may make it AI, but yeah, that might make the creature AI, but doesn't mean it needs to be playable. But a lot of the dinosaurs that we thought of for the game really went well because they had other creatures in their formations that we could use in the progression system. So I might make the giant sauropods have a huge pool of hunger and thirst to work from. And it might be terrible pain to fill back up all the way. But once they got it, they can go for a long time. And yeah, they're going to be pretty slow, but you know, it's not going to be Puertosaurus in the aisle slow. They're going to at least be able to go, I don't know, maybe 10, 12 miles an hour at their top speed. It's not that fast, but you'll feel like you're making some progress. It's all about feeling like you're getting somewhere. The reason that some playing as sauropods in some other games sucks is because you walked for an hour and you didn't get anywhere. In this, I played as Diplodocus and I played as Andysaurus. Obviously, those aren't the largest of sauropods, but you can get somewhere. It's not the best walk ever. It's not the briefest journey ever, but you'll get somewhere in a reasonable amount of time. Look at us with our 95 points. A fourth of the way to Baryonyx. That's so freaking long. I think I'll make it where this amount of time will be what it takes to get to Baryonyx. Oh, somebody's talking about a Cenozoic edition to Pangea Survival. Sequel to Pangea Survival. Hush. 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 Yep. Yeah, I'm sick of people. I'm sick of people hating on sauropods too. People say sauropods aren't viable. They literally are some of the most successful animals that lived on the planet, so they're completely viable. Hashtag sauropods are good animals. Yeah. So with this, you're getting a set roster that you can choose to invest into and get better at, or not. But somebody did say something. Since somebody said something about Cenozoic creatures, in case you didn't know, my next game that I'm very much in pre-production on, I've been in pre-production since 2016, is called Ecclesia. It's an RPG, open world, story-driven game. Is definitely all the fauna in the game are prehistoric Cenozoic animals. So you're not going to see African lions and grizzly bears, things like that. No, you're going to have Arctodus or Arctotherium. You're going to have Panthera atrox. You're going to have Paleoloxodon. You're going to have all the cool Cenozoic animals that have counterparts today, but we're just... we don't see those cool Cenozoic mammals in video games, and I think it's time that we do. So the entire faunal roster of Ecclesia is made up of Cenozoic, now extinct animals. Like even the whales. You're going to have Leviathan, you're going to have Dorodon, you're going to have Basilosaurus, you're going to have a bunch of cool whales that don't exist anymore. But Ecclesia is a different type of game. It's more like playing The Legend of Zelda than playing anything else I've worked on so far. So it's anime art style. Um, uh, Somebody saying animal companionship. I would like for that to be that, but you have so many human companions. You have up to 10 at the end of the story. I don't want it to be too cluttered. Like, you have a whole, troop assembled towards the end of the story. But there will be cool things you can do. Like, you can jump into the ocean. And if you're near a pod of Leviathan, they'll start clicking, and they'll swim up to you. And if you aggro them, they'll kill you. Or at least try to. By the time the end of the game comes along, you're basically God tier. So killing you won't be that easy. After watching this, how many people think that I should make the point system move a little faster? Like getting more points for kills and maybe more points every minute. Oh no, they're not resistant at all. In fact, playing a Stegosaurus is actually you're more likely to burn up in the sun than more points for eating to encourage scavenging. That's actually not a bad idea. Like every time you eat, ooh, what if you get more points per minute when you're full? Let me write that down. Let me write that down. Come on. Why is Notepad giving me so much trouble? Yeah. That way it encourages you to keep on top of things. Aw, yeah. Game designer extraordinaire here. You can tell I've done this stuff for a long time. and I just have so many ideas sometimes. It's great to... Uh-oh. I said next time I see a crocodile, I'm going to invest into some strength and kill it. Okay, let me put some distance between me and it, and... Alright, let's... There we go. Okay, I'm definitely slower. Oh my gosh. I hope I can avoid its jaws. Good grief. Don't bite me! Don't bite me, you son of a gun! Oh, wouldn't that be awful to lose all that progress? It'd be nice if I could do locational damage. But I just don't want to do that right now. Almost. My damage output should have increased by 1.5 times because I am 1.5 times heavier. Oh gosh, he almost got me. Okay. You dead, you son of a gun. And look, I'm right back at where I was. Right back at where I was with points. So that was an investment that was worthwhile. If I can go back to where that other Mashikasaurus was, you can see the size difference. I really should cut down this number for the health, because it's a lot of zeros. Round it off. Oh, I must have missed some of the comments here. Yeah, I'm just, it won't all be progression. Like, I do want, Raiden had this idea for the human side. Once you're hunting, that you can unlock dinosaurs that way. I haven't had a chance to implement it, but I think I know now exactly how I will, because it'll be similar to this, the way you get points for kills right now. Yes, heavy dinosaurs getting stuck in the mud is totally going to be a thing, and it's definitely going to happen in the Morrison Formation, because that's my favorite episode of Jurassic Fight Club, and one of the best scenes in Ballad of Big Al. But yeah, the humans being able to get points, actually they get cash instead of points, for hunting or capturing dinosaurs is totally going to be a thing. And I think I have a good idea of how to implement it now. So basically, once you kill a dinosaur, it will show up in your little list. And when you kill enough of them or something, you're like, oh, you killed an Epanterius 5 times, so now you can play as Epanterius. There you go. And a talent that increases how much you steal. You mean like as a dinosaur or as a person? Like how much you can steal from other people's camps? Or steal eggs? Or do you just mean as a dinosaur stealing from a nest? Oh, you can see how much slower I am. Just for 1.5 times more power, I'm this much slower. I don't think I could outrun a Majungasaurus in my current state. Oh, so, okay, I thought I saw something move in the bushes. Now I'm getting paranoid. Steal a port. Oh! That's not bad. You can take players' points. Kind of like what I thought the eating system. Yes, that is the goal, for there to be an unlock system. It's not fully implemented yet. It has to go into the saving system and stuff like that, and I haven't done much with saving on this project yet. But that's why the playable menu doesn't have all the same dinosaurs it had probably the last time some of y'all played it. Is those buttons are just collapsed, and they will be visible again once you actually unlock that dinosaur. That's the whole purpose of that. But right now, you can only see those dinosaurs from this menu, if they're next in line for what you want. And it should be pretty intuitive as to what thing is next. But what I was saying before, in Primal Carnage, I wanted it to be where a dinosaur would get health for killing a person, but it would only be as much health as that person still had left when they killed them. So if a T-Rex bit you at full health, it would get full health back, not 700 health, which is what they actually get in that game for eating you. I'm talking about the original Primal Carnage. Thank you. So in this, you might be able to get the amount of points that they have, or you might be able to get about half of the amount of points that they have. Yeah. Yeah, eat. Yeah, that actually is a good idea because it would ward off KOS. Um, and when you play enough games with trolls in it, people killing on sight or taunt parties or Care Bears, all that other stuff, it's just ugh. It's just so much trash that you're just not ready for. You know, there's nothing more annoying than being a decent middle tier predator who just wants to provide for that little nest you just put down, and then some T-Rex is like, "This Dryosaurus is my friend. You can't kill him, but I'll kill you for food." Yeah, so herbivores, I actually made this a thing. Herbivores don't get nearly as many points for getting a kill as carnivores do. And carnivores don't get nearly as much points for just surviving as herbivores do. To kind of, it incentivizes a different play style for the two. Um, so herbivores, you are trying to avoid getting killed. If that means go hunker in the bushes, do it. Carnivores, you do want to have to make kills sometime. Obviously, you're going to get more points for kills than passively, but you do want to encourage people to make a hunt sometime. All right, where was that other Mashikasaur? I feel like I see that's his name. Man, he's far away. And I'm about to die of thirst, so I'm going to leave you alone. Courtship. Explain. I really want to hear how this will work. Yeah, that's kind of the idea behind the digging or tree climbing or something like that, is you get a special skill that is only specific to your type of animal. It may not be able to apply it to like, obviously you're not going to have sauropods climbing trees, but they may be able to knock down trees. Tiny raptors won't be able to knock down trees, but they can climb them, and so on and so forth. Maybe I should just stream the stream till midnight, because I am trying to sleep till noon tomorrow. Why does GameStop open so late? Is it because of COVID? Is it really just opening at noon? Is that really making us all safe? I want my Hyrule Warriors in the morning. I had to sign out of my own YouTube account just to avoid getting spoilers. Attractive color skill. Like, oh dang, I'm really about to die of thirst. I gotta get out of here. Why am I had already taken damage before I even got to zero food. Zero water. Oh, this might be the end of our boy. Let me invest some points back into speed. Investing points also makes your health go back up to full. So if you were starving, theoretically, you could just spend all your points to try and prolong your life. But obviously you're losing your points. It's kind of like when you level up in certain games and your health and stamina go back up to full. But this is going to cost you something. Yeah, I love listening to your guys' ideas because I spent half my time working on this game completely burnt out. So I definitely need more eyes and ears on different subjects than just mine, because I might be an indie game developer and have been a professional game developer, but obviously big companies have missed stuff before. So if they got 100 people on staff and they miss stuff, I'm not going to be arrogant enough to think that I won't miss stuff. Ah, bigger claws. Teeth. Huh. That's actually a very interesting idea. Like, I don't, wonder would it directly tie into, like, bigger sail? Would that directly tie into your temperature control? Bigger claws and teeth would tie into your power. Or are these entirely cosmetic investments? Do they reflect something going on with your character? Or is it just something you're doing just to look better than everybody else? Is this a Fortnite skin? Are we going to have a default dance? You know, it was rough times and times, but working on that game was really an enjoyable experience. Even when it was awful, it was still enjoyable. Just a contractor, but it was fun to be a Fortnite worker. I mean, just for the game's sake. Buff, respect, and intimidation. I do like the intimidation thing because definitely some creatures should just be able to scare off AI, whereas others couldn't. Like I have to make a system that automatically assigns your tag, your dinosaur tag, based on what you've invested in. So if you made your dinosaur really big, you're automatically going to move up a tier. But if you made it small and faster, then you're going to go down a tier, and things that wouldn't have attacked you before will, and things that would have stood their ground against you are now going to run away. Both because they can and because they don't want to get one or two shot by you. This game is going to get pretty complex for people to try and figure out which build works best for them once it's multiplayer. But right now, kind of gives people a chance to figure out what thing is the best idea for them. And just so everybody knows, we've been playing on the same tiny little island for how long have I been streaming? Nothing's really telling me. An hour and a half already. So for an hour and a half, we've been streaming on the same tiny, pathetic little island. There's enough on just this one little island to keep a player going. And obviously, you know, I cut some content because the game was loading so slowly. Actually, there's a crocodile right there, so I'm going to avoid him this time. But once I put in the little critter spawning system, it won't be as desolate times and bit times. So, once I put in the critter spawning system, we can get rid of all of the critters in the level and replace them with the actual dinosaurs. So we can have more of each type of dinosaur, and no lizards, no frogs, no snakes, no scorpions. And then the lizards, frogs, snakes, and scorpions will only spawn when you get near their spawn region, and despawn as soon as you're outside of that region. You know, it'll make the game load faster while still having a decent population count for certain things, because you don't want a scorpion being loaded on the map for a place right there in the background that you can't even see. You can't even see the mountain, but somehow the scorpion is loaded into the level. Get rid of that thing. Most of the AI does turn off once you get a certain distance from it, but it's waiting to be turned back on, which still consumes some resources, some memory. So what you want is for it to completely disappear once you're gone, and only the spawner is looking for the player to return. What happened to that dude? There he is. I'm glad I turned the name tags back on, because I wouldn't be able to see this guy for anything. Yeah, there are there are herds of creatures stomping around, but we're just not on that island. We're on an island with a relatively small population. So we don't there aren't even any herbivores on this island, just because we don't have Rapidosaurus and we didn't put a Margosaurus in its place or anything. So it really is Mashikasaurus, some snakes, a couple of crocodiles, and then like 2 Majungasaurs. If I had spawned in as Nanosaurus, you would see me running under herds of Diplodocus, darting away from Stochisasaurs and stuff. I missed something in chat. Top 10 best Pangea builds. Yeah, respect would be a good thing to build into in a packing system. Because I do want, the AI system we have now kind of automatically chooses a group leader, assuming they're in a group. They're not always in a group. But I would like for it to be able to pick a leader based on a dominance display. Oh, roars being louder? Yeah, definitely. Some of them, they're fine, and they can be heard from a reasonable distance. Some of them are actually too loud, like the small animals, because they're using attenuation for giant animals. Courage. So, will this Courage have a little floppy green hat and a green tunic and have pointy elf ears? Yeah. My PC has done this since the day I got it. Honestly. Brand new, right out of the box. It's always done this. If I was more hardware based, I probably would have checked up on that stuff, but I'm software nerd, game developer, software nerd, so I didn't. And it still runs like an i7 to me. That's the itchy death sound from Beast of Bermuda. Which one? Because I'm pretty sure this one came out of the Jurassic Dinosaur sound pack, which almost all of these games have bought at this point. I think that pack has been floating around the internet for like maybe as long as I've been alive. As long as that, it's an old pack, it's not new. That thing has been floating around for a long, long time. That's why you can hear certain sounds in a dinosaur documentary from forever ago and then be like, hey, they're in this pack. I hear some of these sounds in anime whenever they include dinosaurs. Yeah, this was in the... I put this in the primitive theropod category. So once I got around to making Coelophysis and this guy, I was like, you know what? This is the sound they should have. Strength should buff courage. Yeah, I've had these conversations a lot about people. Oh, I heard that sound in the aisle, so, ooh. Like, yeah, you think they didn't buy stuff? Not trying to, hate on anybody, but there are actually people who believe that all the Isles assets are custom made, even the new stuff. Okay. Okay. I've been around the Unreal Engine marketplace too, and I've seen a lot of stuff that's eerily familiar. So, if anybody tells you that all that stuff in the Isle is custom made, nope. I've got eyes to see and ears to hear. Strength should buff courage. I'm sorry, did you explain how courage should work? Because I think I missed that. I also don't think it's wrong at all that you use marketplace content. It's there for you to use. Pay for it, or if it's free for the month, get it. Don't let anybody discourage you out of building your project with marketplace content. You should probably make your main assets, like your characters, custom, just so they don't appear in other games. Courage should buff the roar. I would like roars to be able to get more aggressive, but I feel like that's a little too complex for what we're doing given the size of our roster. So it may just make the roar louder. Yeah. Oh, we could really talk about that stuff, but we shall not name no dead games. We shall not name no dead games. It's somewhere in that's a verse in something. I think it's the book of First Hesitations. You shall not name no dead games. Courage increases your chance of fighting off enemies. That is actually going to be some of the missions for herbivores, is to ward off predators. Obviously, if you're a Therizinosaurus, your goal doesn't need to be to kill a Tarbosaurus, but your goal might need to be to fend off one. Oh, way out there. That's your volcano. So, no way I would make it there. I would burn up in that desert so quickly. There's really only one time you can travel through the desert. It's dawn and dusk. You outside of those short windows, you're not going to make it because you'll burn up or freeze. Give your pack mates courage as well. I did want to implement a system where your pack mates could get points when you make a kill. That way, you don't have to progress without them. Yeah. Stress, because I've had some gripes about how to implement stress. Because I don't want it to be like Beast of Bermuda, where I died just because I was outside in the rain and I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I was on that team too for a short while. I had no idea what I was supposed to do. I mean, I haven't played Beast of Bermuda probably in forever. It's probably changed a lot. But I remember just being like, what do I do with this? It was like that John Travolta gif. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. But they have a huge player base, so definitely I'm sure they've implemented some really cool stuff. Yeah, definitely. And I love the hot springs thing because has anybody in the chat played Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild? Because if you've gone to Death Mountain and didn't have a fireproof elixir, you love some hot springs in that game. Because I definitely needed 2 hot springs just to avoid burning to death, so I could get the armor that I needed to prevent myself from burning to death. That game is so. That's where kind of I don't want to say I was directly inspired, but that's where kind of I got the idea for this whole shadow system. Is if you go to the desert in the middle of the day, it's hot, and you can stand behind anything, a tree, a rock, anything. You will, once you're in the shade, Link cools off, And so I definitely was thinking along those lines when I was like, hey, you should be able to burn up in the Kim Kim Desert, the one that's over that hill. But you should also be able to cool off once you get to an oasis. Um, but yeah, I'm dying of thirst. Burning up, going to the volcano, going to the hot springs made it so much more bearable because you were not going to make it without those hot springs. That's why they are there. Give you a little chance to refill your health before you start catching on fire again. I'm not sure. I think I can't get any points if I'm dying of hunger or thirst. So I definitely really need to refill in case that is true. It's amazing how much stuff I program that I forget. Some of them just don't have the sounds yet. They should. Definitely. Yeah, when I saw the mud bath thing, the mud rolling thing in the aisle, I was like, really? I can't play as Dinosuchus because of mud baths? But it is a good idea for, masking your scent. And like you said, it's a good idea for temperature resistance over time because it's basically the same system as the I'm talking about materially, it's the same system as the blood system. Or the damage system, which is just an overlay on your dinosaur skin tone. So I can have just a mud coating that slowly covers the entire dinosaur. Now you're a little bit more resilient to heat or cold. You're insulated. That's the word. Dang, I love these ideas. I really do. You guys have some great ideas. Except feathered dinosaurs, because obviously that would be very nasty to have in your feathers, I guess. Maybe slow you down, maybe be just annoying. Yeah. Yeah, I'm also glad we decided to go that route because even our not as feathery variants for feathered dinosaurs will still be feathered. Like probably the lowest amount of feathers you'll see on a raptor will be something still more than the feathers on Jurassic Fight Club's Utahraptor or their Dromaeosaur. Just because when I put up a poll in the Discord a long time ago, if people wanted their non-feathery variants to be scaly or just less feathered, people said less feathered. So that's what we're going with. So no Jurassic Park style Utahraptor. Oh, I don't know if I explained this. Maybe the heat pop-up explained it. When it does get too hot for you, you can just go in the water. It's the same as if it starts raining for you. Your temperature will go down by about 5 degrees. Or should. Mine just went up by 1 degree. I think what it is because I'm in the shade, maybe. Don't tell me it's something else I'm going to have to fix. Let me go around here and try and get in the sunlight. Because it's just a line between you and the sun, and if it hits anything, then it considers you're in the shade. So I'm in the shade, and I'm not. Shade, and not, I guess. Huh. It's not as apparent in a jungle like this. It's obvious once you're in the desert. But yeah, being in the water like this is supposed to cool you off just a little bit. Yeah, I definitely need to increase the pool of time, because if everybody has to play like this, they won't do anything except run back and forth between food and water. And I do want them to have a little bit of time to really explore their environment, because this is closer to the okay. That's so corny. Will Andy Soros stop playing with Woody and Buzz? That's so corny. It's so corny. It's actually wonderful, but it's so corny. Oh, this is Mashikasaurus. But I want to give people a chance to really explore. That way they're not just running for food and water. They can see the island around them. See, get some real time to craft what they're going to do next. Also, people will put themselves in more danger if they feel like they have some wiggle room. So some people will fail more, which gets them to play as something else. Gets them to kind of put their neck out there and be like, oh, I'm not going to get killed by this crocodile. Yes, you are. Because you're not skilled. Nah, I don't know. I haven't seen people do as much fighting in this game as I would like to, but then again, they're only fighting AI. So I would like to encourage them more to fight, but I'm going to have to do my part too. Alabamasaurus. I was going to make an Alabama joke, but I'm from Mississippi, so what can I say? I can say a lot because I'm not from Alabama. Nah, Alabama's nice. If you drive through the right parts, Alabama's nice. I've seen Talladega. Meh. I prefer Mississippi. Mashikasaurus. Mississippi Shores. I think there was one dinosaur discovered in Mississippi. It was actually the town I was born in. I have to look it up again, because I did see it in the news once, and then I saw it in an actual book. Mississippi. Well, good, because where I'm from in deep South Mississippi, they just got internet. So, gosh, that's definitely a place I'm going to try and retire to, assuming I'll still live in the United States by that point. You can't really beat the Deep South on culture. Food. Yeah. You can't. I lived in, something you'll know, I lived in Washington State. Gag. 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 There wasn't a Popeyes for 35 miles. Gag. There was one place that was a dedicated fried chicken place, but they didn't look like me. Um, so I'll leave that there for the interpretation of the masses. That was rough. That really was rough because I was like, I really done come to the wrong side of the map. Basically, I was an Allosaurus that had gone to Hell Creek. I'm used to good old home cooking, and everything there was tofu. Everything there was healthy. I love living in the South. It's home. Anybody who's not from the South, I'm sure you love where you're from. I love this. I can't be in a place where no place really sells fried chicken. That sucks. That really sucks. That's not me being stereotypical. I eat like a Southerner. That's how I was able last year to be 250 pounds before I lost 70 of it. I see the Mashikasaurus over there, so I'm going to go kill him because I'm about to starve. I would say Alabama is, I wouldn't say exciting, but it does have defining traits. Yeah, it does have Talladega. It does have, that place close to the top of the state. Starts with a B, something. It's got that. It's known for something. Mississippi is the one that always gets written off. Well, Mississippi and West Virginia get written off pretty quickly. Oh boy. I said I was going to try and stream till midnight, but I'm starting to feel this. Votes in chat. Anybody want me to switch dinosaurs even though I'm 136 points in? Yeah, we're not doing that. More animations? Is that what you're trying to say? If you want me to switch dinosaurs, let me know, because I'm kind of getting bored with Mashikasaurus. Alright, I'll do that, because I'll actually restart the whole server, because I don't want to spawn in at night. Alright, so that was 136 points in a span of time where we probably should have been able to get 500 points. Yes, you can upgrade your dinosaur to make it stronger. You can make it twice as strong as what it was when you spawned it. What do you guys want me to play as? I think we should do a herbivore this time, so we got 5 herbivores to choose from. Well, actually, 4 and an omnivore. An oviraptor. Actually, I don't even know why I said it was an omnivore. That hasn't been programmed yet. Proto or nano? Trying to think which one can I get to something else faster. Nano goes to Oranosaurus and Corythosaurus. Proto goes to Pachycephalosaurus and to Styracosaurus. So I think I'll go with Proto. So this guy, I'm going to get 10 points a minute rather than 1. Yes, I remember those days. Those were both the best days and the worst days because you spent 2 hours investing to get to your Allosaurus on V3, and then this is when Utahraptor was the fastest thing in the game. So you would just be run down by a giant pack of Utahraptors who would see you from a mile off, and that's it. I actually want to get rid of Pladio as a starter for the sauropods because it's just too big. It's way too viable for a starter dinosaur because you're really not threatened by the carnivores in that formation. Yeah, you nobody should have to invest that long just to get one dinosaur. They should at least be able to save it by that point, and that's what I'm pushing towards for this. I bit him and he didn't do anything. I think Oviraptor will put up a good fight. Getting 10 points a minute should take 15 minutes to get to Pachycephalosaurus. And okay, that should have been cut out. And then take 20 minutes to get to Styracosaurus. Which one do you think I should go to after? Because Pachycephalosaurus is the end of its line. Styracosaurus keeps going until you get to Triceratops. Whoa. Okay, so he almost killed me. Ew. Slice his head off. Yeah, I'm trying because I don't want to use stuff that would... I try to use stuff that makes it look like the documentaries we grew up with. Uh-oh. I made a mistake of spawning in as a Protoceratops. Because water is not nearby. And I'm halfway empty on health. I'm going to have to make a break for it, or I'm going to die of thirst. I don't think I put a... trying to think. I don't think I put any lakes on this map. On this part of the map. Trying to think real quick. Definitely. Especially it'll help it run from Tarbosaurus. Okay, so I am implementing basically the last cheat I have in the game, which is the infinite charge, which will totally get done away with. I can run it 1.5 times my maximum speed by pressing X. Alright, I'm already about to die of thirst. And the nearest water source that I can see is there. I'm not going to make it. Good thing there's no fall damage. Come on, don't stop, little Proto. Oh, now, and I'm burning up too. Oh, this is going to be delightful. I don't think I'm going to make it, guys. Come on, come on. Okay, wait, I got some points. Let me use them to, and then I can use them to refill my health by making myself a little bit weaker. Yes, okay. I don't want to use up all my points because obviously I'm trying to get somewhere. But I was able to refill my health by leveling up. Come on. See, now that I'm down at this level, I can't actually see. That's the ocean, so I know that's not it. I think this may be it right here. Yep. Ah, there we go. And there's our boy Dino Kyrus. Oh, crap baskets. Let me see. Okay, so you can drink, but there's a stupid thing that I did where I didn't put its indicator for it to drink water at its jawline, so it's actually at the base of its feet, so it may not recognize that you're standing over water. Okay, so now I just need to wait a little bit for my health to refill. I don't want to use up all my points, just so I don't die. And now that I have water and food and a little bit of heat resistance, we're about to get past midday. I think I can make it to something important. Thank you. Yeah, I put a lot of effort to trying to understand some of the most dynamic game worlds and see what I can do to implement them. Hey, wait a minute. Huh. I don't know why I thought I was facing this way. That way, you can see the starts of the redwood forest. That's where the Yishian formation is, and that's where D-Long is. So that's where you spawn in as the Tyrannosaur starter. It's still too hot, so I just need to stay in this pond or go back in the forest. I might be able to hide under one of those giant shadows. You're really, really slow in the water. Unless you're like Machikosaurus or Spinosaurus or something. Wait a minute. There shouldn't be a juvenile T-Rex here. But there is, because I just heard it. You heard that growling? That low growling is a juvenile T-Rex. That's like your last warning before a Tyrannosaurus attacks you. Whether it's a juvenile or an adult, that is it. Is that there's one... Ah! Bad physics alert! Bad physics alert! Yeah, I hear him, but I don't see a single sign of him. A juvenile T-Rex could make short work of a Protoceratops. Okay! It wasn't a juvenile. It was a fully grown T-Rex. Why is there a fully grown T-Rex here? I thought I replaced all the Tyrannosaurs here with Tarbosaurs. Development goes well. Right now I'm just playing. Why is there a T-Rex here? I thought I got rid of all of them. He's no joke. And look at that duckbill running on its back. Don't you love how I programmed this game? Oh wow, he looks like he's gonna get him. No, wait, he's turned back on him and he's gonna start attacking. Stomp him! No, he didn't stomp him. That was your one chance to win the fight. That might be my fault. I may not have programmed his last attack correctly. No, it should be right. It should be like a beak bite. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? That duckbill is toast. He's not even running anymore. He missed that last bite. Oh, his health. Did his health just refill all the way? Oh, that sucks for the T-Rex, because he put in so much effort. Well, he got him. What percentage? Of what? Of the dinosaur models? You didn't even eat it. You just killed this poor duckbill and you didn't even eat him. You're a horrible, horrible person, Rex. What percentage of what? The models or the trees? I don't think I've done a tally on that stuff. I don't know. I mean, I really don't. If you're asking about dinosaur models, all the dinosaur models are ours. We made them. If you're asking about the trees and the textures and stuff, most of it is marketplace stuff, except for a couple of trees that I made on my own in my spare time. I know there's another herd of Protoceratops at the next lake. Or it should be the next lake. So let me avoid the Psycho T-Rex. Back off, Raptor. Thanks, appreciate it. Oh, they killed another Velociraptor. Protoceratops ain't playing. T-Rex is too loud. T-Rex is too loud. Somebody shut him up. He don't do it, I'm gonna do it on my own. Yeah, alpha version of joining a server, you guys can do it whenever you want, because that's in the game. It's just not, you know, the most desirable thing ever. I would like to progress to Styracosaurus, but now that I'm thinking about it, there's nothing in his formation. I don't even know that there's any food there. I can't even say that there's water there. Horseshoe Canyon is the least worked on formation in the game so far. I probably should have just spawned Styracosaurus in Dinosaur Provincial Park, so at least it would have something it could do. Maybe I'll just go to Pachycephalosaurus and then we'll call it for the stream. After playing Pachycephalosaurus for a little while. And our Oviraptors are so big because they're not just like regular Oviraptors. They're the city patty ones. Oh gosh, take him down. Okay, he's gonna get me. Oh my gosh. I think I'll just let him alone. But if I kill him, I get more points. So vessel up, and you killed him. So now I'm going to kill you. You took my chance to get points away from me. Idiot. Wait, I didn't get any points from that. Did I? I don't think I did. I thought herbivores were supposed to get at least a couple of points for making a kill. I'm gonna have to check that. Uh-oh, I hope it doesn't get too cold. At least I'm not up there on the mountain. What happened to the whole herd of Protoceratops here? I know I cut all the herds down in half, but there don't seem to be really any around here. We're where? I think I'm gonna put them somewhere over here in the back. I'm pointing to something y'all can't see. In the back with those, in the redwoods near the Yishin formation. I think we have some from there, but I have to recheck because I don't know every formation off the top of my head. Good God, what was that? Oh, that was a Dinokairos yell. That spooked me. Good grief, that is a terrifying sound. Good grief. Next time, shut up. Please, that was a spooky sound. Caught me totally off guard. And there goes another chance for a kill. I better avoid this thing before he accidentally slaps me. Nah, he won't attack me. I need to make herbivores a little bit more aggressive to other herbivores. Alright, just a minute more and I can progress to Pachycephalosaurus. Obviously, this is a lot faster than progressing to Baryonyx from Machikosaurus. Oh, nope. Let me get some water. I want to lose points. I don't think you can lose points yet, but still. I wonder if I could bring that T-Rex to the Dinokairos. It's taking a risk. T-Rexes are weird. They don't always attack. There we go. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Go, 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 go. Yeah, that was the sound I wanted to check again. Oh yeah, he is definitely coming to lay waste to me. So let me go ahead and progress now. I'm going to progress to Pachycephalosaurus. Bye. Woo! Yep. It's kind of their own fault, Velociraptors, just for, you know, being jerks. Just okay, why does this area capture worse than the other ones? Is it really just the water over there? Looks to be like the water over here is causing this. It's fine on my screen, like I'm getting the same frames or thereabouts. But it's just cutting way down on the stream. So I will avoid that area. Also, my green screen arrives tomorrow, so yeah, it's like that. So I try to keep it as contained as possible within Thyreophorans, Marginocephalians, Sauropodomorphs, Ornithopods, and then with Theropods it really breaks down because obviously this game tends a little more towards awesome broness on certain things. So, you know, you have your Coelovisoids, which progress to Dilophosaurs, Ceratosaurs, and Abelisaurs. We don't have a starter for the Carnosaurs yet, so we just use Coelophysis. Then we have Machikosaurus as a fish eater, progress to Spinosaurs and Megalosaurs. We have D-Long progress to T-Rex. We have Deinonychus as our starter raptor, even though it should be Velociraptor. It's just not, you know, specific enough right now. It's just a reskin of Deinonychus with a different face shape. What else? There's another one I feel like I'm missing. I'm not going to go back to the start menu just to figure that out. Hey, this lake runs a lot better than the last one. I think it's something to do with those stupid cypress trees. Oh, you really want to go, Crocodile? Cause see, I ain't the Machikosaurus you fought earlier. I'm a Pachycephalosaurus. Oh, okay. No, he took out half my health with one hit. Never mind. Let's just let's leave him alone. Never mind. I thought Pachy's were stronger than this. Wait a minute. If I'm not progressing any further, I might as well invest. Yeah. Who you messing with now? I may be slow, but I got a lot more health this time around. Oh, my attack speed is trash. Now, you dead. Look at me. I can barely even trot. But I still have my charge attack, which is still pretty slow. Let me find some food. You know, this is one of those instances where I'm going to progress down. That's just too slow for me. In fact, I don't think I did it all the way. That's close enough. Thank you. It is a good system. A lot of time, a lot of tears, a lot of awfulness just to get where I am. Darn it, I can't tell the bushes I'm supposed to eat because I don't see any. We got cooler atmospheric effects this time around. Now I'm dying of hunger. It never stops. Is that food over there? Nope. There's some food. Isn't this such a cool pachycephalosaur? Raiden did a good job with this. Raiden always does a good job with everything. And so does Lisa. Couldn't ask for better team. Why can't you drink from rivers? Oh my gosh, what's wrong with me? It is quite the beautiful moon. I love the packy sounds. Probably some young T-Rexes up this way. Yep. I can hear them right now. Right there. You know, this should do knockback damage. Definitely should. As you can see, the young T-Rexes obviously have slimmer faces, longer legs, bigger arms. Just a little bit halfway between a Nanotyrannus and Baby Bob. Charge attack. Dead. What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? Monitor lizard. Poisonous son of guns. If he see, now I'm bleeding, and I'm actually bleeding for 20, so it's not a joke. 20 health points every 2 seconds. So if you're bitten by a monitor lizard or a snake, it actually does more bleed than a Gymadsini, and I think than a Dilophosaur. Okay, yeah, I already fought your kind one time. How many monitor lizards did I put in Hell Creek? What is that name of that lizard? Paleoswania something? The one in Soria. One that really gets on my nerves whenever it bites me. There should be a duckbill herd somewhere around here. I thought. Am I not in Hell Creek Highlands yet? I feel like I am. Oh, there's plenty already. Crocodiles, snakes, frogs, lizards, monitor lizards. But we're gonna have pterosaurs and then sea reptiles in the future. Little mammals. And these are Utahraptors acting as stand-ins for Dakota raptors. Okay, he almost killed me. You can see I'm injured. Look at that gash across my face. My beautiful face! Man, I don't know why I thought I could stream till midnight. Blah, blah, blah. I'm both excited for the next game coming out. The Hyrule Warriors game coming out. And exhausted. I don't want to get up early tomorrow. And that's just going to be like 3 or 4 hours of waiting. Whoops. Did not mean to close. It's going to be like 3 or 4 hours of waiting. And I don't know exactly what time tomorrow my green screen will get here. I'll just take a little time to heal. And let me verify, Pachycephalosaurus does not progress to anything, so this field is empty. So all those points going to waste. I guess I could spawn in as something else. That would be too rough, so I'll do this. This is like the second newest dinosaur, so not much to report so far. It's still kind of a work in progress. Thanks for joining the stream. See you later. Is that a Stochisosaurus? Okay, apparently he wasn't after me. Gosh, I never know where to go in the Morrison formation at night. Okay, where's the moon? So, where would the water be? What? Alright, back to the game. Oh, and he immediately found his new target, so my changing the programming for Stochisosaurus worked. can't outrun this guy, but one strange quirk with our AI is that it slows down the closer it gets to you. Okay, there's the lake over there. Good grief, I'm so turned around. So really, they're only going to get you once you run out of stamina. Okay, he went back to his other target. Ah! Ah! I thought. And that was close. That was close. That's a one-shot kill. I feel like a little defenseless creature like this who only has a peck for an attack should have better stamina. What say you? Better stamina? I think so. Almost out. Yeah, I'm about toast. Got to the water just to get killed. That dinosaur is pretty useless. I'm gonna restart the server and then come in as Deinonychus. Thanks. Yeah, I think I'll end it, or I'll do what I normally do, which is just play Super Smash Brothers after this, because apparently playing my own game makes me tired. Playing Super Smash Brothers rejuvenates me as I rage. Okay, I shouldn't be able to one-shot kill my own species. It's a little bit easier to search for food and water here first, because the environment's a lot more clear. It's really just grass and broadleaf trees. And you just have to run past some Acros and Utahs over that way and some Utahs that way. And it's pretty much a straight shot to the lake. Smallest thing right now in the formation is Deinonychus, so that's going to be your main source of food, cannibalism. Because you don't want to take on the Iguanodon, that's for sure. Actually, it doesn't have to be your main source of food, because the Utahraptors are kind of loco right now, so they just go crazy and kill each other. So we can watch that. There you go. Now, I could rush in here and get immediately clobbered. I don't even know why I ran in here. I thought for a second maybe I could kill the Utahraptor when it was weak. Instead, I think I'll be smart and lead it to the Acro. Where are you? Please. Okay, now get him! Get him! Come on, please. No, 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 no. Go! Woo! Okay, because the Utah is not in front of him, he's not attacking it. He's just coming straight for me. Now get him. Don't get me. Why do you want to kill me? He's a much more substantial meal. Ah! As you can see, I'm no sticky Utah. And I'm semi-decent at surviving by riding an Acro's tail. Don't you threaten me. I'll cut you with my sickle-shaped claw. The Acro still isn't attacking that thing. Why? Do I have to reprogram him to attack medium underscore carnivore underscore R? He sure has no problem attacking small carnivores. Okay, I shouldn't have been hit that time. Hitbox alert. I really shouldn't be calling them hitboxes. It's either convex holes or sphere traces. I don't know. Hitbox. Ooh, that was close. Good thing. Good thing this guy has a little bit more launch power behind him than the Utahraptor does. Okay, fine. If you guys want to be this way, I'll just lead you to the Iguanodons and you can all have a bout then. Wait, I think I can still do that mechanic where... Yep, I knock down trees and use them to block his path. LOL. You're trash, Acro. Oh, he's giving up good. Whew. 10,000 billion IQ play. 10,000 billion. What's 10,000? 1,000? So 10,000 would be a million. A million billion IQ play. Obviously, that's just a taste of the mechanic to be able to knock down trees in the future. I had to first make sure it could work. And that it would also respawn the tree after a certain amount of time. And it does, almost flawlessly. In the same manner, that way you don't have a bunch of actors in the level, which would slow it down. Rather, you just have the instance meshes. Wonder, can an Iguanodon fit under here? Yeah, he can. Oh, no, no, no. Top of his collision sphere, or his collision capsule, is just a tad bit too much. Not right there, but certainly here. Nice. Yep, he's a tough one. I do need to make the tails collide with the tree trunks once you get them down. How an 11-foot Deinonychus knocked down a tree? That's beyond me. Okay, think I will do some Super Smash Brothers stream. Because I am tired, and it's like one of the few ways that I do unwind is playing Super Smash Brothers. So I will leave little Dainon boy up on the screen while I get my Switch reset up, which I have to do for the stream tomorrow, because I'm streaming Hyrule Warriors tomorrow. Oh, sorry. Thanks everybody who joined the stream for Pangea stuff. Really appreciate you. We will do more Pangea streams, more gameplay streams, because I know you guys like this. Do have some stuff to adjust, so it's not as much watching and waiting for something to happen. It's a little more action oriented. But you guys should be able to play this sometime tomorrow. If not tomorrow, Saturday for sure. Because it's just a little bit more tweaking that needs to go into it. Really, I really appreciate everybody who watched the stream. And for the Facebook comments that I don't get to see, I try to check and keep up with. So, thanks everybody. Now we're going to make our switch. We're going to make our switch to the Switch. On. All right. Let's close this down so we're not using up all our computer's resources. Oh, there it is. It's already up on that screen, so I just need to change it on my monitor. I do love it. Elgato. Hold up. Hold up. Hold up. How did it get off of that? Alright. Here's my controller. I don't want my own icon to be in the way of the fight, so I will adjust it. make sure it's not. Oh, we got a few people join the Discord. Okay, let me put this up so you guys can see it all. And like I said, we'll have green screen so all this we added. Let me know if this is too loud.
Step into the ring.
I will start off with Ganondorf, even though I usually start off with Link. Just because. I probably should turn this stream off from Pangea at this point. The Pangea YouTube channel. Okay, I have to restart the stream just to do this. Thanks everybody. Be back in a second.